On June 11th, 2015, a speedrunner named Trajan completed Lego City Undercover in 5 hours, 38 minutes, and 48 seconds, completing the first ever any percent run of the game. That time was already considered amazing. I mean, come on, just look at this move. But now, over 10 years later, the record has been brought down to 23 minutes and 14 seconds, over 5 hours better than Trajan's original run. But the journey to beat Lego City Undercover in 20 minutes wasn't easy. The run underwent some of the biggest developments and time saves in the history of Lego speedrunning. Developments that led to massive discoveries that completely changed how we play Lego City Undercover. This is the chase to beat Lego City Undercover in 20 minutes. Back in June 2015, the first any percent runs started to roll in. At the time, an any percent run meant playing through all the chapters as fast as possible so you could reach the final level and complete the game. Trajan held the world record for a short time, before later that year in November, a new player, Wiretapping, entered the scene, beating his record with a 5-hour, 28-minute time. The two players would trade world records, slowly lowering their times as they found more and more optimizations, till the sub 5-hour run was on the horizon. But the question was, who would get sub 5 first, Trajan or Wiretapping? On February 7th, 2017, Trajan nearly completed this incredible feat, completing a run in 5 hours, 1 minute, and 3 seconds, just barely missing the mark. But 6 days later, Wiretapping uploaded this video to YouTube. He had done it. A sub 5-hour run had just been completed. But that was only the beginning, because just a few months later in April 2017, something happened that changed everything. With the release of the Lego City Undercover remaster, the game's load times were significantly decreased, but the biggest game changer was the addition of co-op mode. This opened up a whole new realm of possibilities and time saves, like glitching through walls, and allowed for the use of 1P2C. 1P2C stands for one player, two controllers, meaning one person can be in two locations at the same time. And in this game, each player can warp to each other whenever, adding in some interesting strategy. In 2019, a runner named Loopy was the first to use these new strats to become the king of the leaderboard. Back to back to back to back, Loopy continued to lower his time and eventually got it down to 3 hours and 50 minutes by January 2021. But then, in May 2021, the world of Lego City Undercover speedrunning changed forever, and the biggest time save in the run's history was discovered. That's right, they found an out-of-bounds store that teleported you inside a level. But not just any level, this door led to the final level of the game. It was located beneath Apollo Island. And not only that, but they discovered out-of-bounds doors within the levels, so you could transport yourself farther into the level without actually having to play through it. That meant that, theoretically, all you had to do to finish a run was hit the out-of-bounds door and complete the final level, skipping most of the story. The problem was, it wasn't quite that easy. Skipping from the beginning of the game all the way to the final level meant you didn't unlock any disguises or abilities along the way. How could you beat the final level with just the basic police disguise? Didn't you need the astronaut's jetpack to cross these large gaps? It almost seemed impossible, but the speedrunning community wasn't about to give up. And soon, they got an idea. What about the farmer? Could the farmer's gliding ability be substituted in place of the jetpack? They looked into this and found a way to unlock the farmer disguise early by glitching inside the building that holds the disguise. This allowed them to perform a glitch known as Extended Chicken Glide, or ECG for short. ECGs were extremely useful because it allowed them to chicken glide for longer periods of time. They use ECGs to cross the gap between the two sides of the city, which is normally blocked off by a police barrier at this point in the story. So this allowed them to actually get to Apollo Island where the out-of-bounds store was located, and within the level, ECGs successfully worked as a substitute for the jetpack. They needed one more thing to beat the final level: Advanced Combat, an ability unlocked at the end of level 4 that is needed to fight off Rex Fury in the final level. The community did find an out-of-bounds store in the Rex Fury boss fight room that would allow you to skip getting Advanced Combat, but at the time it seemed impossible to hit as it was so far out in the void. It would be crazy to try and hit it so late in a run, so that left them with no choice but to unlock Advanced Combat. With this new route and optimized strategy, runners had to unlock the farmer disguise, play through chapter 4 explore the story, ECG across this gap between the two sides of the city, and make it to Apollo Island. Trent the N642 was the first to complete an optimized run with this route, clocking in a time of 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 16 seconds in May of 2021, crushing Loopy's previous time of 3 hours, 50 minutes, and 57 seconds. A nearly 2 hour and 40 minute world record improvement. In 1 month, the entire run had turned on its head. Trent the N642 and runner DJ Ortho traded world records, paralleling the days of Trajan and Walticke. But it was Trent the N642 who was the first to finish a sub-hour run, using a strategy no one had seen coming. In order for Trent the N642 to get the first sub-hour run, he used an unexpected strategy to skip even more of the story. Let me explain. His first major goal in this route was to get the farmer disguise. Then, instead of playing through levels 1, 2, and 3 to reach level 4 for advanced combat, he skipped them entirely. How? Well, he found an out-of-bounds store that triggered the start of level 4, meaning that was the only level he had to play through before heading to Apollo Island. But as any true Trent the N642 fan would know, his run was still a bad run, because 2 days later, this guy showed up. Wizard Power showed his power by bringing down the world record to a 40-minute time, just 10 minutes away from sub 30. And on September 26, 2021, Wizard Power achieved the impossible sub half-hour run, but he was just getting started. The time saves Wizard Power used in this 23-minute, 14-second run were incredible. First off, he found a faster way to get to Apollo Island than the previous method, using my personal favorite glitch, the Hanker launch glitch, where you drive the Hanker vehicle into a body of water, and 9 times out of 10, it will launch you clear to outer space. Once launched, he used ECGs to alter his trajectory to successfully make it to Apollo Island. In the final level, Wizard Power found a way to climb on top of invisible walls at the side of the level, then use ECGs to glide all the way to the rocket, which he climbed up so he could make a mad leap for the door. This is an insanely risky trick, but he pulled it off on just his second try. In the next room, he successfully triggered an out-of-bounds door beneath the ground that is extremely difficult to hit. The door transported him to one final room he had to conquer, the Rex Fury boss fight, and man does Wizard Power pull off something amazing. You see, originally, in order to pass this room, most runners would fight Rex Fury with the advanced combat ability. But earlier in the run, Wizard Power chose to not play through level 4 at all, and instead he launched Chase upwards using a character launch glitch, sending his character through space at extremely fast speeds. Amazingly, he pulled it off and managed to hit the out-of-bounds door. With the final room passed, Wizard Power was in the clear and could plummet down to Earth with a new record in hand. Just 20 minutes and 39 seconds without load times. Special thanks to DJ Ortho, Trent the N642, Walticke, Loopy, Trajan, Wizard Power, and the rest of the LCU community. Subscribe if you enjoyed.